Today, we're going to peel back the layers of the internet to look at something you might not even realize is there. This huge invisible footprint that every single organization leaves behind.
So let's just dive right in. When you think about a company's presence online, what comes to mind? Probably their homepage, right? Maybe their social media, an app on your phone. But what if I told you that's just the front lobby? The actual building with all of its doors, windows, and back entrances? Well, that's way, way bigger.
To really get this, we have to look at what I like to call the internet's invisible map. And no, you can't find this on Google Maps. This is the technical blueprint of how a company is wired into the digital world. And you know what? It all starts with a system you use every single day, probably without even thinking about it.
The absolute best way to think about DNS is as the internet's phone book. It's that simple. Every time you type a website into your browser, DNS is the service that looks up the right number, that's the IP address, so your computer can make the connection. It's literally the directory for the entire internet.
Okay, so if DNS is the phone book, just imagine every single entry for a single company, every server, every marketing subdomain, every single device that's connected. All of those entries, when you add them all up, create what we in the biz call the attack surface. It is the grand total of everything that company exposes to the open internet. The more stuff they have connected, the bigger the target. So knowing this attack surface exists is one thing, but how do people, both the good guys and the bad guys, actually find these digital footprints? Well, this process has a name. It's called Reconnaissance, and it is the first absolutely critical step in pretty much every cyber operation. And they're not just poking around manually. They use these incredibly powerful automated tools. Tools like the Harvester and Amos are built for something called open source intelligence, or OSINT. They just churn through public data sources to build that detailed map of the attack surface we were just talking about. And you would not believe what they can dig up. It is so much more than just the main website. They find subdomains for special promotions or maybe forgotten internal tools, old projects. They find the exact IP addresses of servers, and this is the big one, they can scrape up lists of employee email addresses. Every single piece of that information is another potential door in. But here's the thing, mapping out websites and servers, that's only part of the puzzle. What about the billions of devices that are connected to the internet? For that, my friends, you need a totally different kind of search engine. And here is the crucial difference. Google indexes web pages, the content that people create for other people to read. Shodan, on the other hand, it just blows past the websites entirely. It scans the whole internet and indexes the devices themselves, the routers, the webcams, the servers, everything. And that was the whole idea from the get-go. Shodan was never built to read websites. It was built to catalog the internet's physical backbone. It doesn't care what a website says, it cares about the device serving the website. What software it's running, which doors or ports are left open, and what other devices it's talking to. And the stuff it finds, it's just staggering. I mean, we're talking about everything from your home router and unsecured webcams to city traffic lights, and even the industrial control systems that run our power plants and factories. If it's online, there's a good chance Shodan can find it. Okay, so now we get to the really serious part. With all this information, you've got employee emails from those OSINT tools, you've got vulnerable devices you found on Shodan. How does an attacker actually use all this? Let's walk through how this reconnaissance gets weaponized in a very modern attack. All right, let's break this down. It all starts with the intel we just gathered. The attacker has a list of employee emails. So they craft a lure, and this is clever. They hide a malicious QR code inside a password-protected PDF file so it can sneak past security scanners. The employee scans it, they land on a fake login page that looks perfect, and they type in their password. But it doesn't stop there. The fake site acts like a man in the middle. It passes the login info to the real site, which then asks for that multi-factor authentication code. The user enters it on the fake site, the attacker captures it, and boom, they're in. So if attackers can impersonate your companies so perfectly, how in the world do you fight back? How do you build a digital moat around your castle to protect your domain? Well, the defense has to start with proving who you really are, right from the email server itself. And listen, this isn't just a friendly recommendation anymore. It is fast becoming a requirement. The world's biggest email providers are cracking down hard, and the deadlines are either here or they're coming up fast. Come November 2025, Google will just start rejecting unauthenticated bulk emails outright. They won't even go to your spam folder. They'll just be gone, vanished. The key to all of this, to compliance and to protection, is a technology called DMARC.
It's the industry standard that lets a domain owner basically shout to all the world's email servers, hey, this is what real email from me looks like, and here's exactly what you should do with anything that doesn't match.
Now, DMARC doesn't work by itself. It actually sits on top of two other critical protocols. Think of it like this. First, you have SPF. That's like a public guest list of all the post offices that are allowed to send mail for you. Then you have DKIM. That's like a special tamper-proof wax seal on every single letter, proving it's authentic and nobody messed with it. And DMARC? DMARC is the gatekeeper at the front door who checks the sender's name against the guest list, inspects the wax seal, and then follows your exact instructions on whether to throw suspicious mail out or put it in quarantine.
Whew. Okay. We've covered a ton here, from the internet's hidden phone book to the digital moats we need to build to protect ourselves. But this isn't just a story about big companies. It's really about every single one of us.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. A company's attack surface is made up of its servers, its services, and all of its people. But each one of us has our own digital shadow too. It's made up of our online accounts, our data, and our smart devices. So after seeing just how much is visible out there, it's worth asking yourself, what does the internet really see when it looks at you?